Yo, what's up, man?
Hello.
Cool, you can hear me?
How are you, dude?
Good, I'm
Yeah,
good. I mean, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great.
What time is it over there?
Dude, it's like
Midnight, right?
midnight.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
I know too. How you passing? Oh, what's up?
Huge time jump.
Yeah, completely
Can
forgot
you
about
hear
that.
me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right. I'm just using my AirPods, so I want to make sure I'm not like messing up the pod.
Yeah, no worries. It's coming through fine over here. What you been up to? Are you passing the time
Mhm.
in lockdown? You guys have a shelter in place over there too, right?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia right now.
Yeah,
So like, I think
just working on
the
a lot of art.
like until June something. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, same over here in Cali. Just been working on a lot of art and
Yeah,
stuff.
what's going on over there?
It's pretty much the same as everywhere else. Just like I think for this month they're lightening the restrictions a little bit. Like a few places are kind of reopening, like certain parks and athletic field.
Uh-huh.
Like construction's reopening, but it's still pretty locked down.
It's kind of It's kind of scary because I don't know. I'm just worried that we're gonna get like another wave
Yeah,
once people start coming out
yeah, like
and
that.
like people
Like in
who are
Japan,
like, mm-hmm,
I was seeing those
scary.
posts. Yeah, I mean, some people are already like defying it, even though it hasn't been lifted. They're like the process and everything.
Yeah, I see that. I see
Gonna
that
send us. I
everywhere.
know it's gonna send us
It's
back so
crazy.
much. Anyway, so for this interview, I basically wanted to I want to get into like naked collective related stuff later on, but initially I just wanted to ask you about like your art and just
Oh yeah,
specific
perfect.
to you as an individual. So I guess we'll take you back to day one, like what made you want to, because you started painting right before everything else.
I started. Well, I've always been drawing since I was like,
Okay.
um, since I was probably since when I could draw. Like when I just picked up a pencil when I was little and I just started drawing.
Hmm.
But obviously it wasn't like anything too concrete. It was more like
Yeah, just for fun.
robots or like anime, stuff like that. Like
Yeah, I feel it.
I remember drawing dinosaurs a lot
That's
because I
funny.
really like dinosaurs.
Hmm.
So I remember had this little T-Rex toy from Jurassic Park, and I would just try to like hold it like a few inches away from my face and just try to copy it.
Hmm.
So I just draw it on paper and then yeah, but I didn't start painting until I want to say 20, like very late 2016, probably
Oh wow,
December,
I thought
and
you had been doing
then
it way longer than that.
yeah, no,
Dang.
2017 was like the official year,
Hmm.
and I think like I want to say March or February of that, or maybe even in January. That's when I started the collective, so it wasn't like too long. It's pretty early on.
Okay, for sure. Was there like anything specific that made you decide I want to get into this different medium now, since you had already been doing it with like
Uh,
other instruments, just
it
regular
was
acoustical stuff?
when I moved to Texas and I didn't have any friends over there,
Uh,
so I would try to find ways to pass the time without going out because I was like 10 minutes away from Dallas,
okay.
and it was like, well, I was in Dallas but 10 minutes away from downtown, but I wasn't really doing anything because I just moved out of California,
Hmm.
and I lived there for about probably 10 years or so, or probably a little bit less.
Oh
But I
wow.
didn't, so I was pretty accustomed to life over there. And then moving to Texas, it was like I had nothing to do except, play video games or uh, just watch. I didn't even watch TV. I just went on the computer. But yeah, I, it was something to pass the time, essentially.
So was there like so how long before like did you how long from painting did you decide that you wanted to like put out your prints for sale and stuff like that and really or was that like from day one you were uploading to social media and
uh,
showing everybody your progress?
I think I started putting out stuff before I even started painting.
Oh, okay. So
Because
just
I remember
adding a
like,
new medium.
yeah, I was like, I remember drawing and just using like ink, like the micron pens,
Mm.
and I would just put it on paper, and then I take like a really bad photo of it, and I just put it on Etsy, and no one would buy it, obviously, but I just had it on there because I like the idea of having a store,
Yeah, no, I
just
feel it.
being able to like put your stuff out there.
Definitely. Because I know for me personally, like it took years before, like, of working on my music before I was confident enough to like put out in public and
Hmm.
like even have people listen to it, let alone like, hey, like charge money for it, like, hey, give me a few bucks for this or whatever.
Hmm.
So I was
Like,
curious to see if that was the same on your end.
I wonder if it's like the same way, like the way I built up confidence being able to like post my stuff, and if it's the same way with you when you were like, when did you first start thinking, this is good, I want to put it out so people can hear it, and I want to know like what people say to me, like how would people react and take your art?
I think I just started with like it was about 2 years into writing, I think, where I would like show a few people like close to me a few little samples here and there. And, like whatever criticism they had to say, I was super sensitive to it. Just like so, I'm lucky enough, I guess, that I didn't have anybody completely bash on it in the early days because that probably would have like shot my confidence down and
Yeah.
made it have taken way longer than it did. But I showed a few people like small little tidbits, and some were like super supportive, some were just like, "Yeah, it's cool, man," but like nothing overwhelmingly negative. So
Yeah,
then
that's
from
a
there, I
that's
just
a big deal.
yeah, definitely,
The way
especially
people
those
react to
first
it.
yeah, especially those
Yeah.
first few reactions.
Yeah, it could either just cut off your confidence or just
Exactly.
like propel you forward. Because
Yeah.
for me, I'm like really insensitive to like um, comments and outside feedback, so I don't really get um, like, it doesn't affect me personally when I'm working on something and then someone says, "Hey, that's not good," or uh, "I don't like that," or this looks weird. Because for me, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this sounds really crazy, but I'm just when when I work on something and I know like I like it, that kind of like goes over like outside noise. It kind of solidifies my opinion on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You're doing it for yourself, not for
yeah.
the approval of other people.
Hmm.
I definitely got to that point later on too. But in the beginning, I was very like, oh man, what are they gonna say? And blah, blah, blah.
But
It
yeah,
does dope when
definitely
you,
like I go through little phases where sometimes I kind of get lost, and it's either I want to like, it's like your you lose direction, like why you're doing it. Because
I was just
sometimes
gonna bring up that's like super important that you keep that in mind. That at the end of the day, the foundation of it should be having fun and doing it for yourself, as opposed to
yeah,
like,
because you always want to do it for yourself before like anything else, just like before selling prints or like getting recognition for it.
yeah,
Because if
for
you
sure.
don't, that's like the easiest way to burn out.
Mm-hmm.
um
I agree. I
and
feel like
then
I've started to learn that
yeah,
the hard way.
yeah, I've definitely gone through like multiple highs and lows of that.
Yeah, I think every artist does at some point. Every creator, to whatever extent.
'Cause-
Do you feel
yeah,
like that's
because
been your biggest
if
challenge so far?
yeah, so far, I would
That
say
was gonna
that
be my
it's
next question to you. Was like, what's the biggest obstacle,
biggest
like,
challenge.
or most
Mm,
recurring obstacle throughout all the years of working on your stuff?
I would say like having an art block resulting from me thinking, what would people like what would be the next thing that would be like, wow, that's good to add, because I'm always thinking about like my list of things that I've done, and I want the next thing that I create to kind of, I guess, want it to look good within like my whole like arsenal of paintings. And so I'm always thinking, oh, if I do this, will people like it? And that's where my mind kind of blanks out, and like I I pretty much get lost in what to do, because I think of something and I'm like, that's a good idea, and then the other side of my mind's like, no, people won't like that, so I stop. And then so I kind of get stuck in this little state of limbo where I can't figure out what to create. And
that's very relatable.
yeah, for I want to say that's once that mentality got into my head of like, oh, would people like this? It was kind of like a recurring thing. My first year of painting, I just made stuff that I liked. So you would see, I remember just making like fan art of like everything, and then just kind of drawing and just trying out different mediums and experimenting. But it wasn't inhibited, you know. It's like I was just
Yeah, it was
making it.
free.
Yeah, it's like complete
Whatever you want.
expression.
Uh,
And
that
then like the
praise is
second
addicting
year,
once you start getting it.
uh,
That praise is addicting once you start getting it, like putting it out, and then people do like it. I never want to put anything
it's a
out
double-ended.
that's match that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But I feel like
but
you
like
grow the most
you
when
have to
you're just doing it
understand.
for the
Yeah,
sake
you
of
have to
expression.
understand that it's like it's not all gonna be like top notch. Like I guess let yourself make mistakes. That's like the biggest takeaway that I've gotten.
Yeah,
It
for
can't
sure.
all be perfect.
I feel like a lot of artists are just natural perfectionists anyway, so we run into the same problem.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've seen people like make like the greatest, craziest stuff, and then they'd be uh like something's off, or like I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and it's sad because sometimes like good ass creation just gets just tucked away because whoever made it was like, oh, this is off. I don't want to put it out. And in their head, because I know I'm guilty of this. I'm sure everybody
Yeah,
else is.
so it's important like for someone to like push you, you know, like it's good to have like yourself as a foundation in terms of being an artist, but it's also good if you have
Like
like
get out
good
of your own head.
like an outside perspective on your work.
Yeah. That's why it's cool, like platforms today, like Patreon and stuff, where you can preview your work to like a select few people who really care about the whatever you're doing. You're like true fans who are down to pay just to see
Yeah,
those previews and then
and
get
it's
like
like
a little bit of
you're
feedback.
not asking a lot too. It's like what, $5, $2 even, but
Yeah,
like it does add up. I've
for
seen
sure.
people, yeah.
Balling off Patreon, but like even more importantly, I think it's good to have like feedback from a select few people before like releasing it to your entire fan base. Even if it's
Getting
just
that initial feedback.
yeah, even if it's nothing more than a confidence booster, sometimes you just need that before you release it to the world.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what made you want to start Naked Collective? Because this is the first like artist collective you put together, right? Or was there one before that?
Yeah, this is. I remember. I was on a call with. Do you remember? Do you know who Wesley is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was on a
Up to
call with
one.
him, and I was like, I wanted to do something that brought people together, like people whose art I really like, and I wanted it to, I don't know, have like a platform. At first, it was just like an Instagram. I remember it was like a small Instagram, and I just kept adding people, and then I would just, whenever they posted stuff, I would just repost it. I was like, this is like really cool work. So I would just.
So it just started as like a promotional thing, just to. help
just
the
because I
artist.
wanted to, because I saw like a lot of these artists online, they wouldn't get the amount of recognition that I thought they deserved.
Mhm.
So I was always like, why aren't they getting more likes or retweets? So like, it needs more eyes. So I was like, how do I make something that helps them and like gets their work out there? Essentially, that's what I wanted to do, just to like get their work out there.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Because it's cool to see that it started as just having that small intention to get them a little bit more exposure, but now to see what it's grown into.
Oh yeah.
All the artists, including myself, who were like meeting new people and even resulting in different collabs and things like that. Now
That's the
every time,
biggest
like,
thing. Like one of the
yeah,
biggest things I liked about it was the connections it's made from like just random people across the world.
mm-hmm.
Like seeing people be friends from like people that I've known my whole life, befriend someone that like, someone from the Bay or like different countries. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know. Are we gonna talk about the thing that's gonna happen next Saturday?
Oh, did you want to? We can definitely promote it on here. I just wasn't sure if.
Oh, I mean, I didn't want to like promote it, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for that. I've been working on it for like 2 days straight now, and just
Oh,
like,
yeah, man. I'm excited too. I was looking at the lineup. I'm like, ooh, it's stacked right here.
it's gonna be great, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everybody else perform.
Yeah,
Yeah, for everybody who's watching this, because this will probably come out before Saturday. So we got,
yeah.
or do you want to do the
No, you
introductions?
can
Okay,
go ahead.
sure. So we got May 9th, this exactly a week from today.
Hmm.
So if this drops maybe Monday or Tuesday, it'll be the very upcoming Saturday. But we got a full live stream concert. Everybody chilling at home, quarantine.
Hmm.
But I'm performing on it. A bunch of other dope artists from the collective.
And people, like a lot of people, like outside of the collective too, they're gonna be
Oh yeah,
performing.
definitely.
So it's
Vince A,
a
who we
lot.
just had on the podcast, so I did a
Mhm.
podcast episode with.
I saw that episode.
Awesome, thank you,
Yeah.
man, for clicking on it. But yeah, he'll be performing. We got Tinsy's. Damn, I was just looking at
Yeah,
it.
we have Vincent.
Yep,
Um, let me check the lineup.
Tima,
It's pretty.
Johnny Hikari, everybody's on there.
Hmm. We have
Everybody's been dropping a bunch of new music too, so we get to hear all of
what,
it.
dude, the craziest thing that I've found is people. I remember how people's old music sounded like, and I thought that was like really good back then. And like listening to them now, like
Yeah,
listening to
see
your
what
stuff
everybody
now,
evolved into.
it's like it's getting even better and better.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah, it's dope to see everybody's progression.
Yeah, there's a lot. So far, we have
Oh, and
15.
spoken word intros too. My bad, I completely forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
But I saw that
That's how we're
and it started off.
that's the second part of it. First part is gonna be like the art showcase, which is like a video I'm gonna compile together.
Cool.
So that way it was like a way for me to bring in the traditional artists, like digital work, illustration, painters,
Hmm.
because I wasn't like at first it was just kind of like a music festival, but now it's definitely more of like a full art show.
Dope.
So yeah, it's gonna be a video showing the art, and it's probably gonna take like 20 minutes or probably even less. But we have a good amount of artists on there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, just like a
I'm
complete
really excited for it.
virtual like festival or art
Yeah, because
exhibit.
that's like the only thing we can really do is like hang out,
Yeah.
and like, since everyone's inside, like why not make the most out of it?
Hmm.
And I think it's a good way to bring artists together, because just because it's quarantine, I feel like everyone's gotten more time to like work on stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of people are craving that like person to person interaction, especially with other musicians.
Mm.
Some people are used to going out and jamming and being in the studio with other people.
Yeah, and since they
Now
can't
everybody's
be
just cooped
booked
up.
on shows,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
yeah,
good way to
especially
like
shows.
perform.
So going back to a naked collective, my question was going to be, what's the most recurring obstacle in terms of like hosting that whole thing and running this collective of other
The
people?
collective is distributing my time to equally promote people, because sometimes like I get swamped in my own personal stuff,
Yeah,
so I don't have time. Like if someone's releasing a video tomorrow, like I try to go out of my way to like make something for that person, but sometimes it's just I get, like life
yeah, life gets in
stuff
the way,
happens,
but
so sometimes like takes like a day or so for me to like promote it. So that's the biggest obstacle. I'd say it's just I wish I had more hands or like more of myself to just shove to the side to like hey, you work on this and just like promote the collective like nonstop. 'Cause
yeah,
that's how
and
it
that's
was in
so
the
dope that you
beginning.
do that. But like at the end of the day, you still got to prioritize your own stuff first. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not always a bad thing to like do a little bit of promotion a few days after something has been released because it kind of has that initial
Pulls
wave.
people back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you start to forget about it, and then, well, just kidding. Here's like
Like, have you
the back
seen
end of
this?
this.
Like, this person released a song or like new artwork.
Yeah,
So
because I
yeah,
know
it's
especially
not
with
always a
music,
bad thing.
people will be like, they'll come across it and be like, oh, I'm gonna watch that later. Like they take mental note of it, but then they forget. So if
Mm-hmm.
anything, it just serves as a reminder. You put it in
Yeah,
a couple days
definitely.
later. So moving on from that, where would you say like? Actually, no. Let me change the question. I was going to ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But in terms of like your art, and also in terms of the collective, what are your main goals between now and the next 5 years? Like the most important things that you want to see accomplished?
That's hard to say because I take things a lot like day by day. So what I do want to do is I just want to put out good stuff, dude. Just want to keep making cool paintings and like meaningful paintings. I don't want to just keep creating just because I think it looks good, or I want my paintings to always have something to say, and I want that to not stop,
Mm-hmm.
because that's gonna be it's gonna be disappointing if 5 years from now I'm making paintings that I'm just doing just for the money. I
Yeah,
never want to do that, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of art if it's like it feels like it's empty if it's just
yeah, just a commodity or
yeah. And I started having that kind of discipline with myself this year, where I just everything's like for me. Everything that comes is like a bonus. Like
yeah, just whatever money you get from it is
mhm.
awesome. But
One of the other things I'd like to do is I guess this is like an end goal, or maybe not. Um, I'd like my work to be featured in a museum, like
that'd be sick.
some museum out there.
Yeah, no, that's a dope goal. I think it's definitely feasible. I mean, I love all your stuff.
Thank
So
you.
let me know when that happens. I'm gonna take a trip down and
Oh man, I'm
that'd be
pretty
sick.
sure I'll make everyone know, and I'll tweet it out, and I'll be like, "Hey guys, come see this painting.
We'll have
It's
a big
in."
collective meetup at the museum
Oh, that'd be.
to
I'd
celebrate.
want the collective to still be together in 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I
Yeah,
think it will. Seems
I
like
think
it's
so.
flourishing right now. Like we said, we got the event coming up. Everybody's doing really well individually in terms of their careers.
Mhm. It's the first event too. That's
Yeah,
gonna be great.
but this was dope. I mean, I've known you for a while now, but I wanted to
Mhm.
ask a little bit more about like your history, and I don't really know this full story of how you got into art and things like that. So I was
Oh,
curious. But
yeah.
I want to ask one more
Yeah.
thing. Same thing I asked Vince at the end of his episode was, if you could go
Mhm.
back and give yourself advice, what would it be? like young Francis getting into art, or even a few years into your journey,
Yeah.
either in terms of the, I guess you would call it business of hosting the collective, or in terms of just your personal art. I know we talked a lot about um, maintaining focus on doing
Hmm.
it for yourself, but is there anything else specifically that you would wish you had learned sooner?
Yeah. So because I never went to like art school, I'm not going to art school. I'm just going to like a regular university, and I'm just like taking classes so I can get like a bachelor's in art. So I don't. No one really teaches me how to do any of this stuff. So it's mostly stuff I figure out on my own. So if I could like go back and like teach myself how to just stuff that would make my work so much easier, but because but I also feel like going through all of that and like making those mistakes, it was like important for me as an artist to like to grow and experience those failures. Because for example, I would making prints when I started, i I kept messing up to the point where I was like literally wasting ink because I didn't know how to make them properly. I didn't know how to like package them properly. So I was like, it just feels like I was wasting a lot of ink. So if I could, I guess technical stuff, if I could go back and tell myself how to do certain things, I would definitely would. And for painting, if I could just, like I said, if I could just tell myself how to do things, like how to do certain techniques, and I don't know, I guess it all falls down to like doing more research because sometimes I just go at it and then that's why you can see like where I make mistakes and stuff. And it takes me longer to finish a piece because I'm always messing up. I feel like on Twitter, I just post snapshots of parts of paintings that I already like, and that's like something I could probably like worked on for maybe 10 hours, 15 specific area. And it's so easy to just see it and think, oh, that's so easy. But
Yeah, but they don't realize
it
all
actually,
everything
yeah.
that went into it.
So I guess if I can, I'd just help myself out because I'm not really efficient with painting. Just takes me forever, man.
Hmm. But like you said, it's part of the journey, and then to an extent,
Yeah,
it makes it
definitely.
even more rewarding when you like, and even with the technical stuff and like doing the prints the right way. Once you see them put out there the way that like fully polished and the way that you know
Mm.
they were supposed to be done, then
Yeah, absolutely.
you think back to the days where you're like, oh man, I don't really know what I'm doing, kind of just messing around, and then just to look at the growth.
Mm. I definitely want to. Hmm. I guess I'd just tell myself to like chill out and just mind my own business. It's so easy to get lost with the whole like comparison thing.
Uh-huh, for sure.
I'm not like my work, um, but like, oh, why does that person have more followers? Like, why does their work get more
Yeah, it's
engagements than mine? It's dude,
very relevant to
social media.
modern creatives.
Social media can be such a toxic thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
I
so
think
finding my
I just
way to
delete all
like
my apps just
manage,
for the sake of
yeah, you
maintaining.
just want to find that middle ground where you just use it properly, just promote your work, show your work off, and then just log off when
Yeah,
you don't have to be on there because
that's the
it could.
hard part because you have to use it to promote, but you can't just like avoid it completely.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's easy to be on there a little too much.
Mhm. And that's when you start falling into like the pitfalls and like the rabbit holes and
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
very relatable. Anyway, I think we got a good section of stuff already. Is there anything
Mhm.
you wanted to ask me or anything else you wanted to plug? I know we talked about the event, but anything you wanted to promote for your page or anything like that?
Uh, I guess just all right. If you guys see this, tune in on May 9th, 6 p.m. Pacific time and 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna have an online festival filled with arts and music and poetry. It's gonna be cool.
Yep. And we'll have the Zoom link up on everybody's
I will have it the day of, and we'll have the password on like all flyers.
Cool.
Hmm.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah. It's been a while since I talked to anybody, but yeah,
I
stuck at
think the
home.
last time I saw you was like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was the
That part.
Anaheim meetup
Yeah, yeah,
when I came down with Andrew and Kyle.
yeah.
Yeah, man, that
That's
was
a
a
long
while.
time ago, man.
Yeah,
Once this is all over, we should hang out again.
for sure.
I've been meaning to go up there, but this happened.
Yeah, kind of put everybody's life on pause. That'd be dope, though. Let me know when you're up here.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely will.
All right, for sure.
All right.
Take care, man. Stay safe.
You too. Wash your hands.
Yeah. All right, man.
So.
Peace out.